The winning blueprint presents the Redskins Report.
Welcome to the Redskins Report. Hello, my fellow Redskins brethren and sistren. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. What's going on? Here to talk to you quickly. I don't want to keep you too long. This is going to be very brief. A lot of news has come out over the last 48 hours, and so that's why I'm coming to you so quickly. But I want to talk about a couple of topics that have surfaced, and we talked about one of them on the show the other day, and we're going to start there, save the best for last. So we'll start with Brian Orakpo, and this talk that we had the other day, and I talked about him needing to step up and how he talked about wanting to rip it up in 2013 and be the defensive player of the year and the comeback player of the year and all that stuff. Those are all lofty aspirations and goals. And you want your guys to be confident. You want them to shoot for the stars. You want them to want to reach goals like that, because if he's playing that well, we're probably playing well as a team. And you want all of those things. That's great. And so I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I was saying, because I got mixed reviews from a lot of the feedback from the fans, and a lot of them definitely were on the same page with me. But I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that Brian Orakpo isn't a good player and that I don't want him around in Washington and that I don't think he's a good player. No, I know he's a good player. I know that he's a guy that can get double-digit sacks in this league. I need to see it, though. Okay? He's gotten double-digit sacks before, so I know he can do it. And I know this guy is highly talented. That's not the question. The question is, can you stay healthy and can you produce like a elite level pass rusher in this league? Because he wants to be paid like one, probably. And the reason why we're having this discussion again is because the news came out the other day that the Redskins are intent on re-signing Orakpo before his deal is up. Now, what that means is this could happen before the start of the season. This could happen during the season. A lot of guys don't want to have contractual talks during the season. It's a distraction. But what that says to me is that the Redskins realize that, hey, it's probably beneficial to us, and it makes a lot of sense to me. It makes the most sense to me to re-sign this guy before this season. Because even if he gets hurt again, you got to feel like at some point he'll get injured. It's not like it's a knee injury. It's an arm, and so you feel confident that he can bounce back from this. So on the injury front, you feel like if the doctors tell you, hey, this guy's fine, he's cleared, he's ready to go, you feel good about the injury because it's not a knee injury. It's not something that could stop this guy from running around and doing the things that he can do. And so you feel like, hey, that injury is behind us. So you take that out of the equation and you say to yourself, well, look, we know that this guy is at least, at worst, an 8.5 sack guy. And if he's that, then you re-sign him. Because what if Orakpo goes off for 15 sacks in 2013 and you don't get a deal done? It's much like that Joe Flacco situation in Baltimore. The Ravens had an opportunity to re-sign this guy prior to the 2012 season, and they tried. I won't make it seem like the Ravens didn't give it a run. But Flacco said, look, I know I'm worth more than what you're trying to pay me, and I'll show you. He went out, won a Super Bowl. They had to give this man $120 million. So we don't want to end up in a situation where Orakpo goes off, and we want him to go off. Trust me, we want this guy to light it up in 2013. But if he goes off for 15 sacks and 7 forced fumbles and a pick, I mean, how do you not pay that guy big boy money? So if you get the deal out of the way now, you get a discount of sorts. Even if he lights it up, you'll still feel like, hey, we've already got the deal out of the way. Everything's copacetic. If he doesn't light it up, I still think this guy's an 8.5, 9 sack guy. So either way, you're getting a good football player. I want Orakpo back. I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I said as if I don't want Orakpo on this roster. And no, I don't think Rob Jackson is better than Brian Orakpo. But I tell you what, Rob Jackson made plays. And that's something that Brian Orakpo has not done throughout his career. And that's why I want to see Brian Orakpo make plays and step up like Rob Jackson did. Rob Jackson was forcing fumbles. Brian Orakpo generally does not force fumbles when he gets sacks. Rob Jackson was picking passes off. Brian Orakpo does not have a career interception. Rob had 4 in limited duty in 2012. So they're different players. They bring different things to the table. They have different skill sets. And so I want to see all of these guys flourish. I think Orakpo is a really good player. I thought it was extremely convenient that after we had such a really good dialogue about Brian Orakpo, that the news comes out that the Redskins are intent on signing him. That's what we do here on this program, here in the Redskins Report. We get a lot of things out of the way, but we're right in the crux of everything. We're right in the core of what's going on. And I want to keep us right in the core of everything that's happening with the Redskins. We talked Brian Orakpo on this program one day. The next day, they're talking about him signing a contract. And we talked about it on the show the day previous. So that's what I want to do. I want to be ahead of the game. I want to be ahead of the curve here on this program. Keep you in the loop so you know exactly what's going on with the Washington Redskins. So now I want to switch gears to Robert Griffin III. And you all by now have heard the news about Robert Griffin III and him being cleared by the doctors to return to practice and be ready for training camp. And I've got mixed feelings about this because on one hand, yeah, I want him back. I want him on the field. I want him practicing. But at the same time, I do not want to rush this guy back. I do not think that it's necessary. And yeah, I want him around. I want him engaged. I want him knowing what's going on offensively. But take this thing slow. And they said that Mike Shanahan is going to ease him in. But I don't know what that means. All I know is that he'll be back on the practice field. And it seems to me that Robert Griffin III only knows one speed. And so I don't know if I buy this easing in thing or not. He'll be on 7-on-7 drills initially. He won't be participating fully in practice to start out training camp. But I don't know how long it'll be before they just turn him loose and let him participate in practice. I did hear, though, and this is via Adam Schefter, he reported that Robert most likely will not participate in any preseason games. Amen to that. If that is in fact the case, I talked about that on the program on Monday, that I didn't want to see this guy in the preseason at all. It's not necessary. I don't need to see this guy out on the field in preseason. I know what he brings to the table. I know what he can do. I just need this guy practicing. If you're going to have him back, sure, have him practice. I don't need him out there with live bullets until it counts for something in week 1 against the Eagles on Monday Night Football. And so if that's the way you want to carry it, fine. Do not put this guy in under any circumstances in the preseason. I don't care if it's the dress rehearsal in week 3 versus the Buffalo Bills at home. I don't need him in the game in the preseason. And as long as they stay steadfast to that belief and they do not rush this guy back at all in the preseason, and they do not overwork this guy in camp, I guess I'm fine with him coming back early, but I'm just a little wary of this whole situation. I would much rather have him sit out the first 2 weeks of camp and then come back and then start with 7-on-7 drills and then slowly work his way back into the groove. But if they're ready for him to come back in camp, and look, maybe this guy heals a lot faster than most guys. We'll see. It seems like he has the ability to heal very quickly. And so some guys do. Some guys do have the ability to heal faster than others. And so maybe he's just one of those guys. His recuperative abilities right now seem to be off the charts, but I'm just a little wary of this situation, and I would like it if they just took their time with this situation, because this isn't your standard run-of-the-mill player on this team. This is our franchise we're talking about here, a guy that we gave up 2 first-round picks and a second-rounder to get, a guy that is the future of this franchise. And so they got to make sure that they're not making a mistake here at all. So that's going to do it today on the Redskins Report. Thank you for joining me. I just wanted to keep it brief, did not want to keep you here that long. And so, as you know, I'm a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. My Redskins spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to the Redskins. Have a good one. See you camping on Thursday.
The Redskins Report.